And yesterday I was not feeling very well. My allergies were just killing me yesterday. And then on top of that, I was just tired the entire day. It was so weird because I like overslept yesterday morning. I don't really know why, because I definitely didn't go to bed that late. And then the entire day I was just like extremely tired. There are many Mario Wii ROM hacks. A lot of them are actually pretty good if you want to give them a try. You just have to mod your Wii in order to play them, which can be a process, but as long as you follow the steps correctly, then you should be able to play the hacks without messing up your console. One of my favorite hacks is newer Super Mario Bros. Wii by the newer team. I would highly recommend giving that a try. That hack's amazing. Hello, King J O444. What does the O stand for in your name? Opharius. King Joey Ocean. Dang, I didn't know your middle name was Ocean. I knew your middle name because your long-lost brother, King K, came to me and told me what your middle name is. Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, I just exposed King J's brother. I know you don't. I know you have a sister though, so how is Queen J doing? You want to be married to your sister? Your sister's pretty, I'd say go for it. 4-2 is faster than 4-3. I don't remember what 4-3 is, but it's definitely slower than 4-2. The nice thing about this level is that it doesn't matter how fast you do it, because you have to wait for that cycle. First try, poggers! It's actually really easy with the star. Well, easier. It's still kind of precise, but it's easier with the star. You actually jump higher with the star. Romain theorized it. Like, he wasn't sure. I tried it out myself in practice, and it turns out that you actually do jump higher, because I was getting more success with the 3-5 skip with the star than if you were to do it without the star. Obviously it's slower, but you have more success. You have more of a success doing it with the star, which I feel like doing it with the star is so much better until you're going for world record. That is, yeah, it's not that much higher. It's like a few pixels higher, but it's enough to make it worth it. $142.41. Okay, well, good comeback, I guess, but run still sucks. But it feels good to finish a run. Alright, well, you definitely know that I'm still gonna keep going. Yes, it is canonless. Except canonless is a dumb name. But then why isn't Mario 2 called canonless? It's the only game that is not called canonless. The only reason I like Warpless better than canonless is because it's tradition from the classic Marios. See, the thing is that people outside of New Super Mario Bros. Speedrunning, when they think of canonless, they'll most likely think of the trick. The trick canonless. Like, I get that canonless makes sense in the fact that you're not using any cannons in this game, but I like Warpless because it's the traditional name of not using any warp zones to skip worlds. And I don't want to hear people say, well, New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U's Warpless is all castles, and that's not called Warpless. No, because all castles is technically not really Warpless. Warpless is a meme in both Mario and Luigi U. Yes, this can be called all castles because you literally go through all 8 worlds. It's like the only Warpless category where you actually go through every single world. Because in Mario U and Luigi U, you can go through the game by only completing 7 worlds. How did my jump not go through? Supposedly, according to Romain, you can use a cannon to skip the World 4 airship and the World 6 airship. But even then, the whole run itself is not that much different from Warpless. So you may as well just run Warpless. And the Mario Wii boards have changed, like, entirely. Almost entirely. It's 5th? Holy crap. Fades really fell apart over the past several months. After his any percent record, it was one of his any percent records where it was considered the God run, and he stopped running. And some people tried to contend for it. DCA and UVideo being one of those guys who tried to contend for the record. They weren't able to find success with it, and so his record still remained to be the God run. And then he came back a little bit, because I guess he found motivation to come back to the game again. And then Pidgey came along and that was that. He just stopped. I can understand why he stopped though, because Fade does not really like world record pressure. And I can understand not liking the pressure of constantly fighting for world record, because I've been in that position many times before actually. And I know what it's like to just have that pressure of just constantly going back and forth with the record with somebody. Yeah, honestly, focusing on just your own personal achievement is good, because like when you're constantly thinking, oh, I want to get world record, then it just becomes unhealthy. Yes, I do. And then I used to have Mario U Deluxe records, but then I stopped caring about Mario U Deluxe when more people started running it. Supposedly I'm called in for work, but I don't actually know when it's gonna happen, because I asked when they need me, but I didn't get respond back. So I'm just gonna stream, and if I'm called in, then I have to stop streaming. Teacher assistant. I kind of assist in grading other students' like homework assignments, basically. And the teacher that I work for calls me in whenever she needs me. And this morning I got a text saying that she might need me. And the subject I'm grading, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm doing math homework. All right, story time. Last weekend, I was out with my girlfriend's family. We went to a Mexican restaurant called Kikado Cantina. Mexican restaurant, Mexican food, burritos, tacos, enchiladas. Ordered food. I ordered soft tacos with fries on the side. They had garlic fries. That's the only kind of fries they had. Now, a weird restaurant habit of mine is that whenever I go to a new restaurant that I've never been to before, for the first time, and if the restaurant serves fries, I usually try them out. And this restaurant's fries were amazing. Now, normally my complaint with garlic fries is that most restaurants that serve garlic fries usually either put too much garlic or the fries are super oily. And either one of those cases makes the fries like disgusting, in my opinion. But these garlic fries had like a healthy amount of garlic, and then also the fries were seasoned fries. Now, out of all the fries I've had, I like either waffle fries or seasoned fries. And so there were seasoned fries with garlic, healthy amount of garlic, not too much that it would be that was going to be disgusting. And it was amazing. S-tier fries. On top of that, the fries are really crispy. I like my fries crispy. So if you ever want quality fries, go to this restaurant. I wish the fries were more salty, because there wasn't very much salt in the fries at all. But the flavoring in them was enough to kind of like make up for it. How would I say high school is going to be if I was talking to an uprising high schooler? As in to somebody that is going to high school, or somebody that is going to like their junior/senior year of high school? An 8th grader, okay. Obviously, like, high school is like your important school that like determines some things in life. So high school is obviously going to challenge you. The first couple of years, 9th grade and 10th grade, they're not bad, because they're trying to like, you know, show you the basics of high school. And then junior and senior year, they always say that junior is the hardest year, but I thought senior year was my hardest year. What high school would be now is kind of a hard question, because when I left high school, the things in my high school were pretty different. So it's hard to say, because it kind of varies from school to school. I'm pretty sure some schools are moving into like a hybrid session of learning, where some people are not really comfortable with being surrounded by like 30 students. So like classes are probably going to be smaller capacity. Whereas in college, it applies with like the class itself instead of if you're comfortable with going to school or not. You haven't had a full middle school experience? Oh dang. Yeah, I've never been in those situations before because we've never really been in a situation where we had to cancel school for a certain amount of time because of natural disasters. But going into high school while missing out on some things that you should have learned in middle school, I imagine sounds kind of scary, but most of the time they usually review things. But even then, some people are not fortunate enough to really be on the same level as everybody. I remember back in middle school, I was put into a like a special English/history class where majority of the students are disabled in some way, whether it's like trouble with reading, speech disorder, or you just need like special help like when you're like taking tests, more like a lower level English/history class compared to like normal students. I was in normal classes for mostly everything else. Then midway through 8th grade, I took a test that got me out of that program because I passed that test. I was out of that class and was put into a normal learning English history class. It was very different because there was a lot of things that was very unfamiliar to me. In 7th grade, you're supposed to take world history, right? But I was put in U.S. history, which is 8th grade history. And then I was put in U.S. history again. And so in this normal history/English class in 8th grade, when they were going over stuff that I was supposed to learn world history, I had no idea any of the stuff because I've never been put into world history before. And so going into world history in high school in 10th grade, everything was completely new. But my 10th grade history class was like the best history class I've ever taken. Even though, like, I hate history, I hate learning history, but the teacher that I had for world history, my teacher knew her stuff and was just so good. Like, having a good teacher is an excellent motivation to really try your hardest. And, like, my average grade in history is usually, like, either C or D, but I destroyed that history class. It was amazing. Having good teachers is definitely... But also, what country is this? I'm not familiar with the education system in other countries, other than the fact that supposedly Denmark and Finland have really high education systems. What the heck? Why would people do that? Isn't that a little over extreme? Oh, okay, yeah, you put county. I just misread. Hey, that's terrible. Students going around, like, stabbing people with pencils. There are a bunch of crazy people in my school, too. I mean, I guess no matter which school you go to, you'll always have those crazies who will, like, battle other students for, like, weird stuff. I'd say, like, half the students from my high school are, like, pretty ghetto. And some of them are still just as ghetto as when I knew them in high school. The reason I know that is because I look at their social media feed. Oh crap, that's right, TikTok's a thing. I don't understand what TikTok's even, like, about and why people use it. I remember, like, in elementary school, Facebook and Twitter were the norms. Then, in 8th grade, Instagram became a thing. I remember in 8th grade, people kept begging me to make an Instagram. And then, after middle school, finally made an Instagram. Instagram was cool. I found its appeals. 10th grade, I started using Twitter more often. I used to almost never go on Twitter. But then I found the appeal of Twitter and started using it more. And then in 11th grade, I think? It's either 11th grade or 10th grade. Snapchat became a thing. And I never understood what Snapchat was about until I made one in, like, 12th grade. But I didn't use Snapchat very often because I thought my life wasn't interesting enough to really use Snapchat very often. And then I just stopped using Snapchat because Instagram updated their features to where Instagram has stories and filters, just like Snapchat. So I thought, okay, may as well just use Instagram for this stuff now. I stopped using Snapchat. I still have the app. I get notifications from it here and there. Nowadays, the social medias that I use mostly are either Twitter, Instagram, Facebook sometimes. Actually, no, I rarely post anything on Facebook. On Instagram, I'll post something every once in a while whenever something fun happens. Like if Danielle and I did something really cool together. iFunny. Oh, that's a thing I haven't heard of in a long time. Is iFunny still, like, do people still use iFunny? I've never heard people talk about it anymore. I remember Ask.fm used to be somewhat big. I thought it was really fun to use Ask.fm to just, like, ask people random questions. Oh, I speedrun Zelda games, but I haven't been actively running any Zelda stuff right now. And actually, there's talk in my Discord server for a potential Among Us stream this weekend. If you like other stuff though, on my YouTube channel, I do daily Let's Plays, where I do Let's Plays of a variety of different, and it's not limited to Mario and Zelda. What animal? The only animal I have in the house is Jay, but Jay's not in the room right now. He's a Japanese Chin Chihuahua mix. Okay, he looks like that. Okay, yeah, I'm in California. I have Pacific West Coast time. Most of my viewers are in Eastern time. Outer Banks and Salt Life. In the western part of US, we tend to be right by land more. So a lot of the western areas tend to be more hot. For spring and fall, it can be either hot or cold. Like usually, like the first half of spring is cold, and then a warm second half of spring. That's like near summertime. And then same thing with fall. First half of fall is hot, and then the second half is like really cold. That's like when winter time comes. Do a lot of people just use guns in your state? I haven't seen very many gun stores in this area. I always like drive by maybe like one or two whenever I go on a drive somewhere. What do people usually use guns for? I'm sure it's not to just shoot people. If it's like hunting guns, then I can understand that. Self-protection? Okay, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense, yeah. For fun? Oh, no. Oh, for shooting ranges. Oh, okay. Sometimes you have to be careful with having a gun, though. You never know who's around to kind of steal your gun and kill people with it. Okay, what do you guys usually hunt down? Deer, squirrels, other forest animals? Okay, okay. Oh, you live in a forest? Okay, that makes sense. For me, we live on a busy street. So across the street, we have like a bunch of stores and restaurants. We have a Baskin-Robbins, a grocery outlet across from us. If we want something, we would go to grocery outlet. There's some restaurants, but we hardly ever really go to those restaurants. Sometimes I go to Baskin-Robbins with friends. We're hanging out near my area. Baskin-Robbins is literally right there. Well, we also have a Walgreens and Taco Bell. But I don't really eat Taco Bell. I remember when I went on a trip to China/Hong Kong. It was constantly crowded. I've been watching vlog videos of people recording stuff in Japan, like activities that you can do in Japan, and those are really intriguing to me. I've always wanted to go to Japan. There's a guy who goes by the name of Abram Japan, and he makes really interesting videos of different things that you can see if you plan to either take a trip to Japan or live in Japan. But what I'm interested in Japan is anime merch. I don't know if other places in the States have it, but we have a store here called Daiso, and it's a Japanese convenience store. It's basically like your Dollar Tree store, but it's like Japanese style. So a lot of like your everyday products you can get, and they're pretty fancy looking. How prominent is it in California? Well, people do drugs. There is a limit. A lot of buildings you can't smoke inside. There are a pretty good handful of people who smoke weed and vape. My best friend at the time, he started vaping and smoking. Now, generally, I don't have much of a problem with people who like smoke and vape, but I try not to hang around people who do because the smell just kills me. I don't have asthma, but I try to stay away from people who smoke and vape.